Los Angeles. When Billboard and Variety agree on something, the music world listens. And this week, both powerhouse publications declared what many fans have believed for years. Jungkook of BTS didn't just make history, he changed the entire structure of IT. A headline that spread like wildfire across US entertainment media, Variety wrote, "From Seoul to Spotify's Hall of Fame, Jungkook changed everything." The article hailed him as the artist who erased the boundary between East and West. Meanwhile, Billboard's feature on the same day echoed that sentiment, calling Jungkook's rise a blueprint for the next century of pop. It's not hyperbole. Jungkook's recent streaming numbers are nothing short of seismic. With over 9.7 billion total Spotify streams, the youngest BTS member now stands among the platform's most streamed artists in history, placing him alongside legends who built the very foundation of global pop culture. His solo mega hit 7 remains a cultural landmark, surpassing 2.4 billion streams on its own and redefining what it means for a non-English song to dominate Western airwaves. But according to Variety, this isn't just about numbers. It's about integration. Jungkook's artistry, they argue, collapses the artificial distance between Seoul and Los Angeles, between K-pop and mainstream pop, between cultural export and global ownership. Billboard took it even further. In a deeply analytical piece, the magazine described Jungkook's rise as the moment the East stopped adapting and started leading. His smooth blend of R&B, pop, and digital production techniques, often co-created with Western producers, has become a case study in how globalization can enhance, not erase, artistic identity. The story begins, of course, in Seoul. The same city that once sent boy bands to US late-night shows as cultural novelties now sends Jungkook, a fully realized global powerhouse who doesn't need translation to connect. His charisma, sound design, and visual storytelling form a new language, one that Variety calls emotionally universal. Industry insiders say Spotify executives are already in talks to create a special global icons feature on the platform's Hall of Fame page, highlighting artists who transformed international music streaming. If confirmed, Jungkook would be the first Korean artist ever to be listed there, a symbolic acknowledgement that the boundaries separating Western music from everything else no longer exist. Jungkook's impact isn't measured in demographics anymore, said an anonymous senior analyst at Billboard. It's measured in resonance. You can hear his voice in Sao Paulo, Paris, Jakarta, and New York, and in each place, it feels local. Even artists from other continents have begun referencing him as a creative force. American pop producers call his fusion of genres the new global sound. British critics praise his tone as velvet over fire. In France, Le Monde described him as the first Asian artist to dethrone cultural geography itself. Social media, of course, amplified every word. Within hours of Variety's article, hashtags like #Jungkook changed everything and #Sold to Spotify dominated global Twitter trends. Fans posted split-screen edits of Jungkook performing Standing Next to You at the Global Citizen Festival beside clips of Beyoncé, Harry Styles, and The Weeknd, noting how seamlessly he fits among the greats. Korean news outlets joined the chorus. The Korea Herald called it a generational shift, adding that Jungkook's international validation through US outlets like Billboard and Variety proves that Korean talent no longer requires Western acceptance. It commands it. What fascinates analysts most is how Jungkook's artistry never feels reactionary. He isn't chasing global trends, he's creating them. His visual choices, choreography, and even his collaborations balance authenticity with innovation. The result? A new kind of stardom, one that transcends language and territory, rooted in emotion rather than geography. HYB insiders quietly celebrate this moment as a turning point. According to internal reports leaked to Korean media, executives are planning to launch an international campaign titled Beyond Borders, The Jungkook Effect, focusing on how his achievements have influenced new artist development models. The goal is to position Jungkook not just as an idol, but as a cultural framework, the embodiment of how music now moves through the world. In one particularly poetic section of Billboard's editorial, the publication wrote, What used to be called K-pop is no longer a genre, it's a force. And Jungkook stands at its epicenter, not as a bridge between East and West, but as the horizon itself. For longtime fans, this recognition feels both surreal and inevitable. After years of witnessing BTS defy expectations, Jungkook's solo domination reads like destiny fulfilled. Yet, for the industry, it's a wake-up call, a reminder that pop's next frontier will not be built in Los Angeles or London, but everywhere. And as the music world looks ahead to the 2026 Grammys, where Jungkook is already rumored to be under strong consideration for multiple nominations, one can't help but wonder, if Jungkook already changed everything, what's left for him to conquer next? Would you like me to continue this article into the Grammy prediction segment, including how American critics and ARMY believe this could mark BTS's long-awaited first major Grammy win? Rumors of a Grammy nomination began circulating almost immediately after Billboard and Variety's back-to-back tributes. Within days, online forums, Twitter threads, and even mainstream outlets like Rolling Stone and Forbes joined in the frenzy, hinting that Jungkook could finally be the artist to break one of K-pop's most persistent barriers, the Grammy curse. For years, BTS had been nominated but never crowned, despite their colossal influence. Each year, ARMYs braced themselves for the Recording Academy's announcements with hope and heartbreak in equal measure. But now, with Jungkook's solo success and his songs dominating global streaming charts, the conversation has shifted from if to when. Industry insiders claim that Golden, Jungkook's debut solo album, is quietly being positioned for submission in multiple Grammy categories, including Best Pop Vocal Album and Record of the Year for 7. The same insiders suggest that executives from Universal Music and HYB are in active dialogue with Grammy organizers, emphasizing the cultural and commercial case for honoring Jungkook's global resonance. The Recording Academy itself has taken notice. In an interview with Billboard earlier this month, CEO Harvey Mason Jr. acknowledged that music is becoming borderless and hinted that 2026 could see a more inclusive slate of nominees. While he didn't name Jungkook directly, the implication was clear. Change is coming. American critics have already begun drafting what feels like the early chapters of Grammy history. Forbes described Jungkook as a once-in-a-generation performer who bridges economies, languages, and art forms. The Guardian went even further, stating, if the Grammys want to remain relevant in a global market, they cannot afford to ignore Jungkook. The fan response has been nothing short of explosive. On TikTok, ARMYs have launched the hashtag Grammy for Jungkook campaign, generating over 400 million views within 3 days. The campaign includes montage videos of his live performances, interviews, and heartfelt speeches from BTS's earlier Grammy attempts, each edit underscored by captions reading, "This time, it's his turn." Even Western artists have chimed in. Pop producer Jack Antonoff, known for his work with Taylor Swift and Lana Del Rey, commented during a podcast that Jungkook's music hits differently. He's not trying to sound global, he is global. Meanwhile, Grammy-winning engineer Serban Guinea praised Jungkook's vocal layering on Standing Next to You, calling it studio perfection that rivals anything by The Weeknd or Harry Styles. Behind the scenes, HYB is reportedly preparing a US-based campaign to build momentum ahead of the Grammy submission deadline. Sources close to the label suggest that Bang Si-hyuk himself has taken a personal interest in the process, describing Jungkook's solo journey as the fulfillment of a 15-year vision for global music integration. Korean media has seized upon this development as a matter of national pride. The Korea Times ran the headline, "Will Jungkook bring Korea its first Grammy?" A question that resonated across talk shows, university panels, and even government statements on cultural diplomacy. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism reportedly plans to highlight Jungkook's achievements in its 2026 K-Culture Expo, positioning him as a living symbol of Korea's soft power. Meanwhile, ARMY's emotional investment deepens. Fans still recall the bittersweet memory of BTS's 2021 Grammy loss, when cameras captured the members' forced smiles amid applause for another winner. But this time feels different. This time, it's personal. Jungkook, once the youngest trainee dreaming under fluorescent lights in Seoul, is now the face of a movement that transcends fandom and industry alike.